Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran at 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market. On 5/29, that's May 29th, I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right. And the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, many people left the stock market after the crash, and here's why.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
And that's still going on. That's your planner. They don't represent you. They represent themselves, your money manager. But you have to make a change. You can't change them. You make the change. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so that we can take care of you. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With the false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest, fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the hot stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. If the institutions buy it, it goes up. If they don't, it goes down. It doesn't matter the name. That's why we use charts to identify money in, money out. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short Ford when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the All Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
There is a great anger out there. And people say, oh, Trump has captured the anger of the world, and the anger, it's actually a world anger. It's not even, it's this country, because this country has made so many bad decisions, it overflows outside of this country. But there is a real anger. And they always write about the anger. I don't think about it. I don't think like I captured anything. I just say what I say. And I say what I say because it's common sense.
He's right. And there is real anger out there. But these guys you see on TV, these bubbleheads, they're unbelievable. They just don't get it. They just don't get it. Why Trump is so favorable. Why he's ahead. The people, and not only the people in the Republican Party, they're so hateful, they're condescending. I never see anything like it. A talk show host, they just hate this guy, Trump. They just hate him. They just hate him. It's like he came in and disturbed the good old boy network. And they don't like it. They don't like it. They don't know what to do. This is going to be the greatest thing for the stock market. There's nobody else that can fix this market, and it needs fixing. We got to get back to the days that you can invest your money and feel safe. Feel safe. The problem is when you invest your money in these 401ks, you are getting ripped off every day. $250 million a day in hidden fees, and you won't believe it. Most people think in a survey, they did a survey, recent survey, that they're only paying $3,750 a year in fees. That's it. They don't know anything about the hidden fees. They just don't get it. So most of the people in 401ks have no clue. First of all, most people don't even meet the dollar requirement, the dollar minimum that's required to work with a licensed financial advisor. There are 118 million U.S. households, and 108 million have under 500,000 of investable assets, while 100 million have less than 100,000 to invest. Over a 25-year period, the actual compounding cost of investment fees is just over $112,000, or half the amount you invest. What have I been telling you about 401ks? that they take more than half. They take 65%, but people don't want to believe that. 65%. A 2% fee is 65% of the money you save. You can tell people that to your blue in the face, and they won't listen. They don't want to listen. They put their head in the sand. They don't want to listen. They don't want to do anything different. Every day I offer. I said, why don't you switch to the S&P 500, an exchange-traded fund. There's almost no fees at all. You have the 500 best stocks in the world. The best stocks in the world. You get a nice little dividend. The risk is not much at all, hardly any risk. In fact, we have a program here at Phil's Gang that we manage that risk for you, meaning that every day you have a coach at 1:15 Eastern Time. You go and you check in, and the coach is giving you, look, and said, okay, here's where we are now with the S&P 500. And he'll show you on a chart. I think you should take some profits here. Or wait a minute, no, I think we should add more here. Or take half off, or take a little off, or whatever. You got a coach. You don't even have to think. That costs $49.95 a month. And it comes with a lot more services than that. But my point is, these 401ks are terrible. They're the worst retirement fund in the world. But what can I do to convince you of that? Over the lifetime of your 401k, you'll pay over half of your investment of your retirement money to these gangsters on Wall Street. See, we're going to need somebody like Trump to come in and break up the good old boy network. To break up the good old boy network, you got to break up Congress. See, and that's where the problem is. The wealthy control Congress. The wealthy says, no, don't do that. Let's screw the guy on Main Street even more. And the Congress says, okay, how much do you want us to screw him? Well, how much do you want? Well, I need $300,000. I'm running next year. Okay, no problem. Then give me your vote. That I want to make sure you don't pass any laws where there's any transparency. How do you think this came about?
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
The rule would our partners, our shareholders, and that's it. That's our responsibility begins with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it. So you give money to somebody. You work your whole life. You keep giving him this money in your 401k, and he's telling you up front. He's telling you what? How more? How can't be any clearer.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
Our partners and our shareholders. Nothing to do with you. And yet you still stay with the 401k. Are you nuts? So again, let's go over the numbers. There's 118 million U.S. households, and 108 million have under $500,000 of investable assets, while 100 million have less than 100,000 to invest. Over a 25-year period, the actual compounding cost of investment fees is just over 112,000, or nearly half the original amount invested. And the larger your investment portfolio becomes, the more money you lose to fees. With a $250,000 IRA 401k plan or investment portfolio that pays advisor and fund fees of just 1.5%, excluding all the hidden fees. The hidden fees. There's 28 of them. Mistakenly, it says. People with 401ks truly believe the financial press that they only pay $3,750 a year in fees, full fees. Are you out of your mind? This is nuts. Anyways, the stock market's up 336 points today. And as I told my subscribers, and I told them this week, I said they're going to try to push the stock market up to what we call on a chart a 200-day moving average. And we've been prepared for this. And we've been staying long in most of our stocks and making some good money right now. And as I told my my gang members, my subscribers, that they're going to do anything to try to push this market up. And that's what they're doing without earnings, there's hardly any investment. I mean, there's just very little investment money out there. Corporations aren't investing. Earnings are horrible, terrible. But they're pushing this market up every day by printing money and pushing the money into the stock market. And I'm going to explain today, when we get back, how oil connects to this, or does it? We're told it does. We'll be right back after this break. Subscribe to Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grande and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel. Go to philsgang.com, click on the video channel graphic, and check out Phil's free videos on the market, economy, and current events.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, the market's up over 324 points. I told my subscribers this week that we would try, they're going to try to move this market up to what they call a 200-day moving average on a chart. I showed them where it was, and we're on our way there. I also explained to them this morning, before the market opened, I said, you'll see a pretty good day today because March 1st, first of all, March is one of the best days, or March is one of the best months of the year for the stock market. It always has been. Part of the reason is because of tax time's coming and they do all kinds of different deals. But the first day of the month, they put a lot of new money to work. And it seems like March, for some reason, is where the heaviest money goes. And that's what we're seeing today. But we're also seeing a trick. It goes back to this old oil trick. They've now convinced everybody, taking parking space in everyone's head, that when oil goes up, the stock market goes up. When oil goes down, the market goes down, which is a bunch of nonsense. Okay, bunch of nonsense. So with that, if you combine the amount of money that's being put to work in one of the best months of the year, we have a good move today, and also the fact that we have, let's see, a lot of money. Basically, it's the money put to work. Never mind the oil. That's a bunch of nonsense. Okay, let's take a look at the market. First of all, that's why you want to be a subscriber, because being a subscriber of Phil's Gang, first, you don't have to do any work. But more important, you make money when the market goes down. Now, let's take a look at today. If we have the same 5 stocks that we manage every day, all year. The same 5. The same 5. So let's take 2 of them. IBM. Having the ability to sell the stock short when the market dropped, there was an 18% return for my subscribers in IBM. Now, when the chart identified that the institutions were coming in, starting to bring money in, because remember this, they truly believe what's going on. Remember at one point, the S&P, they couldn't break through 1810, and I told you, you're not going to break through that. Not now. We eventually will, and we'll go down another 20, 30%. The market's going to go down another 20, 30%. You got to believe that. It's going to happen. But what they did is stop the market from going down. And they started this song and dance about the oil. And that's how they held it above that 1810. Now they're trying to move it up. So we take advantage of that. But we will get the signal when this market's ready to collapse again. Remember, I got the signal in May of 2015. I announced that this was the first day of the stock market crash. In July, the last week of July, I said this is a confirmation of the stock market crash, and we had a 14% correction. Now it hit that 14%. Now she's starting to go back up a little bit. Don't be fooled. It's not going up because companies have good earnings. It's not going up because companies are doing well. The economy is doing well. Remember, the economy is not doing well. First, our national debt is too big. That's the first problem. I mean, you can't have a company. You can't have a country. A company's doing well when you're carrying this kind of debt. You just can't do it, because when you have this kind of debt, there's nothing left for roads or infrastructure. I mean, there's nothing left. 19 trillion in debt. All the money for programs like roads and bridges and education, it starts disappearing when you get this kind of debt. Are you nuts? It just disappears. So we took, for example, let's take IBM. We shorted it, an 18% return. Now we've gone long, where we bought it. It's now up 11%. So 18% down, 11% back up. Caterpillar, we identified for our subscribers to sell short Caterpillar. We saw the institutional money pulling out. We showed them on a chart. Here's where the sell signal is. it dropped 21%. And then we turned around. We then found a buy signal. And now it's back up 8%. 18% on Caterpillar. So what is wrong with those returns? Nothing. So that's why we invite you to subscribe, and we can make it even easier for people who are so busy that we just take the exchange traded fund. The S&P 500 has almost no fees, and it's called our Working Investor Program. We talk about it every day, where you sign up for Phil's Gangs, $49.95, and then you follow us in that program. Now you have access to all our programs. But that's the S&P 500 exchange traded fund, and you're coached all the way through it. The other thing I said that we're putting in with that program are our refiners. The refiners, just like our gold. Now remember, our gold AU, after it collapsed, we went and started buying. It's now up over 40%, a 40% return on our gold. We're going to do the same thing with the refiners. We're staying on top of those every day for our subscribers. Every day we report on the refiners, just like we did every day reported on our gold, and we caught it. So why don't you subscribe, try it, and just understand you're not going to make money in the 401k. Over the lifetime of your 401k, you'll pay over half of your retirement money to fees. And remember, investing in a 401k doesn't offer any advantage, as the fees completely negate the tax benefit, especially for you younger savers. 401k has been a bad retirement product because over 77% of those who have 401ks borrow from the 401k for emergencies and leave their job before repaying what they borrow. So then you're subject to an income tax and a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? 401k is the worst product in the world. So become a subscriber, philsgang.com, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, and Denise and Steve will take your call right now.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande.
Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
What do you mean
And we do have a rally. Will you look at that, please? Big board shows a gain of 166 points. Might be looking up these days. Some positive data on manufacturing and construction spending. That's what's helping to move stocks higher.
They always have a story. It's amazing, isn't it? They always come up with a story. Last week, it's oil. Okay, this week it's still oil. Now it's are you kidding? Manufacturing? Manufacturing is so bad. It's terrible. It's terrible. Manufacturing, mining, utilities, the capital goods sector, the durable goods sector, same thing. Capital goods is durable goods. Those are the big ticket items like appliances and widescreen TVs and machinery and computers and communication equipment. The orders fell and are still falling to 2001 levels. It's terrible what's going on in manufacturing. And these orders, the durable goods orders, is responsible for most of our economic growth and investment growth. Durable goods, remember, durable goods, the appliances, the widescreen TVs, those kind of things are responsible for most of our economic growth and investment growth. And the indicator you really look to see how healthy the manufacturing sector is. And it's not. It's terrible. We're seeing the largest decline in this sector, in these orders, like appliances. We haven't seen order declines like this in what, 6 years? In 6 years, this is so bad. Business investment represents 50% of our economic growth. We don't have any investment. Business investment is down to almost nothing. Terrible. So the stock market, when you don't have earnings, they got to rally it somehow. And that's where the Federal Reserve comes in. And that's when they start printing money. And that's when they take the money and start putting that money into the market. They give it to J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs, and they go and they start buying stocks to push the stock market up. So what we do with charting, we're not here to judge. We're not a referee. Going, wait a minute, penalty, they're printing money, and that's why the market's going up, not going on earnings, not going up on earnings. We don't care. That's what they want to do. They've been doing that since 2008. Keep doing it. So, give you an example. Schlumberger. I gave you our IBM. When they took the money out, it went down 18%, and we caught that. When they put money back in, it went up 11%, and we caught it on the upside. Caterpillar, when they took the money out, our charting identified the institutions pulling out. Caterpillar went down 20%, and we just recently saw money coming back in. It's now up 18%. And Schlumberger. We saw money coming out of Schlumberger. We told our subscribers to short. It went down 24%. And then we had a signal, a buy signal. The money was coming back in. We caught the signal, gave it to our subscribers, pointed it out to them. And now it's up 17%. See, you got to be able to get both sides of the transaction. To think if you're going to go in the market and you're going to retire, are you nuts by having somebody just give you one side of the transaction? Think about this. An average person shells out about 15 or 20% interest, right, in a credit card. More like 20%, right? About right, credit card interest rate. But the average person only sees a return if he's lucky. Lucky, real lucky. And you catch it on the upside before the market starts collapsing again. Say 5% on average. Most you get out of your 401k. So you're going into the hole. Now, that's before your crazy, that's before your crazy fees. And you have 27 hidden fees. There's no way you can make money in a 401k. It's impossible. The 401k was not for you to make money. It was for Wall Street. You ever see the size of the buildings down there? Never designed for retirement. Never. Crazy. So please try this. Try subscribing. You'll enjoy it. You really will. Here's the number, 877-600-GANG. Subscribe, 877-600-GANG. And just tell them you're subscribing to Phil's Gang. And then when you're a subscriber, you get in on our site. What you're going to be looking for is at 115. This is so easy to do. You're gonna participate in what we call our working investor group. Now, if you're already a gang member, you're already part of this. So if you're a gang member, don't email or call and say, "What's this new program?" This program. This is a great thing if you're working and you're busy and you don't have time to do anything. And then we will put the S&P 500. We follow it every day for you. You have a personal coach every day. And now, just like with the oil, just like with gold, that we got a 40% return on. Okay, when I say that, I want to explain. When I say, okay, we got a 40% return, 21% return, we're not an investment company. We don't manage your money. We're a teaching format. This is where we identify for you the sell signals and the buy signals using our PT1 and PT2 charts. They're a beautiful thing. We have a class environment. It's archived. You're updated all day long. And this 115 program, the Working Investment Program, is designed for people like you who are just so busy you can't do anything. But you're getting frustrated because you can't make money. And when you say the system is crooked, yes, the system is crooked. So the way you beat the system is you just follow the money, because the institutions always make money. You don't think J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, those boys make money all the time? You really don't think BlackRock makes money? T. Rowe Price, Bank of New York Mellon, you don't think they make money? They make money every day. So the idea is to follow them. If they're going to buy Schlumberger, when they sold Schlumberger, the stock went down 24%. So we identified when they started to pull their money out. My subscribers were able to get in on that sell short. Then we just discovered they started coming and buy Schlumberger again. Now it's up 17%. So who cares if the market's crooked or not? The problem you have is a 401k where you're fixed in. The fees are just going to bury you. Now, we need a real, we've got to, this all can change with Trump. Because he's not bought. He's not a bought man. He doesn't need the job as president of the United States. Okay? He doesn't have to go around and kisses anybody's butt. He just doesn't have to do it. And he'll be there. The reason why these people don't understand what's going on in the political in the Republican Party, they're going crazy. They don't understand. People are looking to him for help. They're looking to him. They know he will make a difference because he's not a bought man. Now listen to this. I never heard anything so stupid in my life. Listen to what broke off today.
President Obama promised change and met intractable GOP opposition. Congressional Republicans were not interested in negotiation or compromise. The condition of the Capitol Dome is a metaphor for our time. It needs fixing, but that work is underway. What goes on beneath the dome and in the rest of Washington, that will take longer, and it won't be solved with rhetoric alone. And of course, one of the sad things about this campaign on both sides is that there is a deliberate attempt to stir that anger even more. And so it begins to feed on itself.
He doesn't get it. If you listen to his entire interview today, what he's basically saying, that people are angry because the Republicans are not working with Obama. That's what he's saying. People aren't angry because Republicans aren't working with Obama. They do work with him. We're angry because they do work with Obama. We're angry. Look at the budget. They give him everything he wants in his budget. They give him everything. The Republicans have lied. They've lied. They haven't done anything they said they were going to do. And when they got control of the Senate and the House, they lied. People aren't angry because they want him to work with Obama. They want Obama out of there. More when we get back. Subscribe, Phil's Gang, and help St. Jude.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Become a subscriber. I'll give you the number right now, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. Gives you a chance to help yourself and also St. Jude. Now, I told you about the S&P 500 program that you can find in our Working Investor program. It's for people like yourself who are so busy, you don't have time to come to class, you don't have time to learn, and you want somebody to do it for you. Well, that's the S&P, that's the spiders. Remember, it was in May of 2015. I told you we're ready to short the stock market. We're short the S&P 500. The 500 stocks, they're going to start correcting. I confirmed it for you July, the last week of July, and we captured a 14% correction in the S&P before anybody else did. And then now we're back on the other side buying it, going the other way because money's coming back in. Now it's up about 5%. Gold, same thing. Money was coming out of gold. It dropped. Then we turned around and we got money back into gold, and now it's up 40%. That's the key, to be able to put money in. So you're making money on the way up, you're making money on the way down. That you cannot make money in your 401k. So please check it out and subscribe. And you're helping yourself and you're helping St. Jude. Also, I want to talk about St. Jude. There's a wonderful book, or a wonderful man, Walter's Way. His name is Walter Scheer. And you've heard of the fax machine. Well, if it wasn't for Walter, there'd be no fax machine. He founded a company called Visual Science that introduced the world to the fax machine, the first publicly traded fax company. Now, he's an amazing man. He's 92 years old. He's a good friend of mine. He's a founding board member of 5 multinational companies. And even while logging 2 million miles through 40 countries, how dedicated he was to work was incredible, and how he started. I'm going to share the story with you. That's in his book, and I hope you get his book, because if you get his book, it's an inspiration to everybody. This is what America's about. He and his late wife and children established the Vera and Walter Scheer and Family Foundation to provide resources for people with developmental disabilities and their caretakers. So impressed Congress with Walter and what he's achieved. Incredible. He's just iconic successes. It's just unbelievable. The United States Congress awarded Walter a prestigious and rare certificate of congressional recognition for his outstanding achievement and contributions. Now, this is not bad for a person who, listening to the radio, hearing that Japan bombed Hawaii, he went down to sign up. He was a young man, and he couldn't go because they found TB. And while they found that TB, in those days, that TB, now, there's no more TB. It's been eradicated. But back then, it was as dreaded disease as polio. He was laying in bed for 7 years. By the time he got out and he was free of this terrible disease, he felt he had to start work. He had to catch up. And the book shows, what he had to go through. This disease was awful. He's in these hospitals were terrible. Just what this man went through is incredible. And he came out and he started his career in a little, it's a store, soda store, where they had, ice cream and that's luncheonette, that kind of thing. And he started his career there. And it just shows that store, that luncheonette, that soda bar where he worked, that was an entry level. And he saw as an entry level to work. He saw it as an opportunity. And he took that opportunity to learn. And that little luncheonette and that soda bar the diner kind of thing. He said, I was so glad to get the job. I would have paid them. I would have paid them to take the job. He said, I just wanted to learn, and he did. And he started to learn about marketing, and from that, he built an empire, made billions of dollars. Just an incredible story. The name of the book is Walter's Way. And I want to share this book with you a little bit each day because I want you to get this book because not only is it an inspiring book, it's a wonderful book. It's about a wonderful man, and what he achieved is incredible. You should read it. But also he's going to take the money from the book and he's going to donate it to his foundation and also to St. Jude's. So I hope we can sell as many books as we can. But this book is incredible. Here's a guy. They didn't think he'd live for 6 months. 7 months he's fighting. But the real TB, but what's really funny about, not funny, but unbelievable about the story, he felt so bad that he couldn't go to war and fight the Nazis that at 90 years old, it always bothered him. His success always bothered him that he couldn't go to war. And he always felt somebody died in his place, and that it just was terrible for him. At 90 years old, he finds the name of somebody from Queens where he grew up, and he went over to Normandy, over to Normandy Beach, over to where the cemetery is, and he found the cross. And think about this. Multimillionaire can go anywhere he wants in the world, but instead, so bothered that he didn't go to World War II, so guilty that somebody died in his place, and he said, I'm going to find someone who lived in the Queens, same time I did, who went to war, who fought, and who died. And it's in his book. He talks about it and how he went to the grave. And at 90 it was tough for him because he was in a wheelchair at the time. And Private Francis Bowen was the name of the man he found. Now, this guy was his age, and he volunteered to go like Walter did, but Walter couldn't go because they found in his medical inspection he had TB. But this boy, Private Francis Bowen, he was assigned to the 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment. He made it through Normandy Beach. He hit the beach, he made it, but the next day he got killed, moving inland. He was buried in Plot E, row 13, grave 6, at Normandy American Cemetery in Colleville, France. And Walter went over there, 90 years old. I mean, wheelchair bound. I mean, this was what he had to do to get over there was incredible. That's a story in its own. And he went and he found the grave. When he got there, all he found was this white stone. There was like no name on it. And he was so disappointed. He said, we got the right place. He made this trip all the way over. All of a sudden, this woman appears, he says. And he says, just take this little cup of sand and rub the sand across the face of the cross. And he said, you'll see the name appears. And he said, okay. And he did. And he rubbed the name on the cross because he couldn't see any name. And soon there was his name. There was the name of Francis Bowen. And he looked back to thank her, and she was gone. And it's 172 acres of open space. Where'd she go? He said. He just disappeared. Congress is so impressed by Walter, as I said, and his success, and what he's done, that they gave him, as I told you a moment ago, the Certificate of Congressional Recognition, which very few people get that. So let me give you the name of the book. Just Walter's Way. The proceeds are going to go to his foundation and to St. Jude's. He's not keeping any of the money, so please order one of these books. And I'll just share with you, like I'm doing now, parts of the story, because he's just an incredible man, and he's still with us, thank God. And what's interesting when you read the book is what a difference. Today, when somebody goes to work at McDonald's, the government comes in and tells the government now orders the owner that you got to raise wages. And it just shows the difference. And when he took his job, he was so grateful to get the job. But today, the job it's more of an entitlement today. And the first thing someone goes to get a job today, what do? They ask you what the benefits. What are the benefits? How much vacation do I get? In Walter's time, he felt the job was the benefit. Walter's Way, please pick this book up. Help his foundation in St. Jude's. We'll talk more about Walter and stocks tomorrow.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.